We need to prepare for those big patches the devs are introducing recently, and there's a lot of info behind the lines, so without further ado, let's just get on to the analysis for patch 1.51. Sylas is finally coming out. He was data mined a while ago. The details as they appear in the wonderful AFK.guide are pretty interesting. His ult makes an ally immune to all damage for 8 seconds. The ally takes a portion of damage after this is ended but doesn't die as a result. Elixir of Energy immediately heals weakest ally for 30% of their max health. Also, it heals them for 440% of his attack rating over 11 seconds. Lethal Dose, which sprays gas in an area of effect, recovers a small amount of health to allies, dealing 60% of his attack to enemies, reducing their health recovery. Lastly, Healing Gaze creates a gas cloud that recovers health quickly, but disappears after healing 200% of his attack rating. So Sylas, Graveborn Healer, also lots of counter heal in his tech. You can also see his signature item making enemies' health recovery rates reduce as they take damage. We also know that ally health recoveries, as well as attack, will increase whenever they do recover. So we'll have to wait and test him, but at first glance he'll probably have good synergy with Talene, Rowan, and Isolde, as well as other healers, maybe Namora, which will make him a key hero for F2P players that really need to see those recoveries and really like heroes like Isolde in their campaign. I predict very advanced endgame players might find them slightly less valuable. Still good, but we'll have to wait and see, because they do have access to different kinds of formats and different kinds of sets that they can play with. One thing is for sure, save those Graveborn scrolls since he may have a Hero Ascension bounty event, like Peepa does right now, and his avatar will probably be sick, so definitely save them to use them at the right time. We also have a new Voyage, also a new Trial of God for chapters 30 plus. Next one might require chapters 31, 32, or 33 completed, so good reason to keep up the endgame hustle like we do in this channel. As you know, that means new class exclusive artifact. This one's gonna be for mages. They're one class that we know the devs are looking to buff, so this artifact is one to watch out for. New Champions of Asperia 2. This is a format where you rank up for rewards, you all seen it. I like this one since it not only uses martial ratings, but it also gives serious advantage to the offensive, giving chances to slightly less ranked players, free-to-play players, to really compete at endgame PvP and get to some endgame content. That's because people have to make 5 and even 7 sets, and whenever you attack into them, you can customize your sets to attack into the weak enemy sets. I would recommend you save some diamonds for this, not many, but just a few will allow you to grab extra rewards at the start of the event, and that can really help you when you file forward at that time. Now, for the big change of this patch, endgame campaign. It was massively changed, and I know this is what you guys are waiting for my commentary on. Basically, my understanding is your progress is saved after each stage you beat of a multi-stage campaign level, and you get to retry individual fights. This isn't explicit here, but you probably can't use the same heroes twice. This should change endgame dynamics drastically, allowing you to go for much more inconsistent heroes if you'd like. I'll definitely post some overview of the campaign soon, but that's a direct buff to all inconsistent strategies out there. Thorin and Lucretia come to mind. As a result of this progress, many people should be stuck at minimum power than they were before, because people could pave up their way easier because they don't have to make all these retries to rise up. I think this is also a great buff to this channel. With this new approach, many niche strategies will rise up. Make sure you revisit some of those videos I'll link up below and be up to date. I'll also release a big video about endgame campaign and getting unstuck soon enough, so stay tuned for that. Some optimizations that don't matter much in this patch: red markers optimized. We've heard that in the past, we won't believe it until we see it, but definitely the devs being attendant to us and listening to some of the community suggestions. Now on to the hero changes, and these are no less exciting, at least for me. First, we gotta talk about Skriath and Zolrath. Let me explain the situation quickly. Zolrath furniture delays enemy entrance, and Skriath furniture is used to group up enemies when they enter. Because the enemies weren't on the battlefield when Skriath got onto it with Zolrath, they just did not work. They could not be used in tandem. So this bug fix should make Zolrath the most consistent pick for that set, indirectly nerfing the life out of Tidus, Said, Tid is still better on budget and has use. I still predict he will see some usage in endgame, but I predict Zolaf will become a consistent staple in that set over time. Arthur Furniture no longer save Numisi totems. Cool. This Peepa change is bigger than you think, I think. People think that you always want to proc the enemy teleportation because it says fail. No, this change will make her teleporting allies more consistent, and her teleporting allies, which is supposedly the fail condition, is actually really good sometimes. I predict she will see some PvP usage, and if you have her in Zafriel, definitely check that out to be a little bit ahead of the meta. Verk and work optimizations, love to see it, no, nothing big, and Source buff letting his clone get buffed accuracy. This will actually be relevant, making him even bigger against some TR bosses, and pretty useful against some agility in campaign. Let me slow this down for a second. Overall, this is a big patch. We see many changes, new hero, changes to campaign, new events. Love to see it. Obviously, subscribe to stay up to date, so once we know more, I will always update you guys. And I've been Linker. Peace.